Alright guys, welcome back to the power rankings for week 1. So following week 1, we're going to start off with some wins, some stock up. We have the Symbionts doing really well. Their depth popped off, CCOut won a very important match against Benji to get hot early, and they beat, in my opinion, the first place team, so that's a huge win for them. Great, well played week, and that's a hard win to get. I didn't think they were going to get it as easily as they did, but they secured it. Next up, you have the Blizzards. They won early for once. Usually they're drawing everyone until, halfway through the season, and then they just win every single time. So nice early win against the Detectives. Pastor won a really big match against Joe. Got, the retain got a nice win there and showed that he can really play with the best. And then that's just some great early momentum for them, which is something they're just not usually used to, I'd say, as much. For the biggest stock up, I'd say that the Samurais are, they 6-0'd to start the week, the reigning champs, the Puppies. Big win. It could have been 7-1 with some hacks, and it possibly could have been an 8-0 considering all their losses were just 1-2s. So an 8-0 to start the week against a really strong team is quite crazy. As well as the retains both won, so that's, there's really no negatives coming out from the Samurais this week. Now time for some stock down in the power rankings. The Crown, their depth needs to perform better. They can't be losing as consistently, right? Like you went for the high kind of octane draft, and you need your lower end value picks to really start winning, and they need to see that sooner rather than later, because you can win 4, but you can also lose 4, and it's a draw. You need an extra win there. So really looking for that. I ranked them really high, and they lost week 1. That was maybe on my end, but maybe I'm overestimating them, but I doubt that. I feel like they have much to still prove. And Benji losing sucks just because, you want your top players to really roll, especially if they're costing that much, right? The Monarchs aren't on here, but, both their 25k players both lost. So, like, where are you kind of picking up that value? Is it activity? You gotta be careful with that. So, unfortunate loss for him, and hopefully you can pick it up and get that, train rolling. Next, we have the Detectives. Very winnable week, in my opinion. I don't think they're a super strong team, but the Blizzards looked like a very beatable team, and I think that was like kind of a must-win. I know it's early to say that in the start of the season, but with how I see their team already, I feel like that was a win they needed to grab early. Joe's loss was really unfortunate. He really just kind of got outplayed, but for such a strong player, you really want it, like, maybe you're not winning weeks, but if some players are getting hot, maybe you can make a turnaround halfway through. And then there was just too many 1-2s. They weren't closing, and they just need to start doing that. Unfortunate as it is, they'll be at the last of the power rankings, but I think they can bounce back. They just need to get a few wins earlier, because I feel like a few quick losses to this team may be it. And for the biggest stock down, I have the Puppies. That was a really slow start. Started 0-6 to start the week. 6 straight losses. I'm not sure what's happening on there, and there almost was an 8-0-8 or whatever, right? Their 2 wins were 2 1s, and one of them I heard there was some hacks around it. So really unfortunate start. I don't think it'll stay like this. The Puppies and the managers have shown that they're one of the best teams, and really their top players just need to perform better. They were losing to some lower valued picks on the Samurais, and I think if you can just have those guys play a bit better, you could have pulled that draw out, or at least won the week. Alright, now time for the power rankings. In last place we have the Detectives. This is solely because they're already ranked low, and then they lost to the team that was lower than, in my opinion. This isn't a huge jump for this team, but we're going to put the Blizzards here. They got a good win, although it wasn't against a very strong team, in my opinion. The true benefit of this is that Blizzards usually only start winning halfway through the season, so to get an early one is really big for the momentum. So I expect them to slowly climb the ranks if they, continue at this pace. Next one's a bit of a drop. I'm going to put Monarchs here. They had a lot of hype surrounding them from other players that I was talking to, and I feel like they kind of fell flat in their first week. Not to say they can't bounce back, but they did play a roughly even Stars team. I'd say Monarchs, Cruisers, Stars over post-draft, I'd say are all pretty even, so that's fair, and lots of time to come back. It's just 1 week. After the Monarchs, this is a bit of drop for this team, but I'm going to put the Puppies. Just getting 6-0 to start the week is not a good start. They're going to need to bounce back here, but more than likely they will. This one's another big drop. I'm going to put the Crown here. They lost to the Symbiots, who I had ranked pretty low. Well, I feel like the Symbiots, Monarchs, Cruisers, Stars are all roughly the same, but, I have you ranked first, and you lose, so don't even get the draw in the end. Gotta go down somehow. Followed up by Cruisers, who will move up just slightly. They did beat the United this week 5-3. But just a 1-up, nothing crazy. And then in third, we're going to put the Stars, as they did beat the Monarchs, a team quite a bit higher than them. Although I did say like they're roughly the same, I think this is justified. And in second, I'm going to put the Symbionts. Maybe this is way too big of a jump, but in my opinion, Crown was the best team, and they beat them week 1, 5-3. So there's my reasoning behind it. And in first, we're going to put the Samurais. Reasoning for Samurais is that they, beat the defending champions, and they did it like hot and right away. There's not much of a better start you could ask for. One of the main 6-2s, so big dub for them. And these are my power rankings for week 1. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys would change, and see you back for week 2.